There we go. Okay, hello. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your night to come listen to Lindsey's story and maybe to get some tips and some little golden nuggets. She has some golden nuggets for you guys tonight. So I am just gonna let her start with telling her story.
Pressure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my name's Lindsey. I am a 12K here, but I wanted to backtrack a little bit because Kendra and I were talking yesterday, and I actually started with Lavelle about 6 years ago, I think. 6 years ago, but I was with a totally different team. I was also a 12K. I was an auto bonus earner, all of the things, and I was 0% fulfilled. And I mean that because the company was everything, the products were everything, but the team was just not. And I felt like I was looking for something more. And I kept stalking this team. And I decided that this is where I wanted to be and this is where I needed to be. So I gave up everything. I walked away and I sat out for probably more than 6 months. I sat out for about a year before I decided to jump back in. And when I jumped in, it was very difficult. And it was difficult because I wouldn't get out of my own head because I'm like, man, not a single one of my old customers really trusted me again because the way we were taught to build, with the previous team, not a single one of my promoters wanted to quit and then rejoined because they had felt that they had been burned by different situations. And so I essentially started from 100% scratch. Every single person that I have now on my team is just people I've met from social media, and except for my mom. My mom's always my supporter. But when we were talking yesterday, Kendra's like, how long have you been with this team though? And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been with this team for 3 years. And that kind of hit me hard because I gave myself so many excuses in the beginning. I should have been here, this rank and beyond, 2 years ago. So, sorry, I didn't know if you were unmuting over there. Okay, so anyways, so a little bit a side story for me. I'm a single mom of 2 kids. I have 2 crazy kids, a 6-year-old and an almost 11-year-old. And I really joined this business because I went to college. I worked in the medical field. I worked at 5 different medical fields, OBGYN, family physician, you name it, I worked in it, and I hated it. It just was not for me. I would bartend all hours of the night. I don't have family that helps me watch my kids ever. I do it on my own. I never had babysitters. I never had daycare. I struggled hardcore. I am not kidding you when I tell you that I would put up Facebook statuses and be like, is anybody free to watch my kid tonight? Obviously, I would only let close friends watch, not strangers. But I went through hell. And so one day I was like, man, I've been with network marketing, many different companies before, and none of them panned out because no other company has it like we do. I'm just going to say that. Compensation plan, products, everything. And so I saw this company. This is back when I first joined. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to give this another shot. Should I? But then on the backside, I was like, well, what else do I have to do? I have to be home with my kids. I don't have anybody to help me raise my kids. I didn't have a significant other that we could work opposite shifts. I had nothing. So I decided to give it another shot. And here I am.
I love that. And I love your story because first of all, you started back over. You started over from scratch, and because you knew that this company and this team was set apart. What we have is so completely set apart. Listen, did y'all hear her? She said 3 to 4 years she's been here before she finally was like, okay, it's time. I'm going to hit that auto bonus. She slept on her potential for that long, for 3 to 4 years. If that doesn't tell you that it doesn't matter how damn long you've been here, you can go wherever it is that you're supposed to go. When it is supposed to happen, you're going to get there no matter how long you've been here. So I just want you to note that she sat here for 3 years doubting herself, and she went and did the dang thing, right? She went 12K last month, and she's about to earn that Mexico trip and completely paid for. Okay. So that it doesn't matter how long you've been here. So listen, the next question, what was your mindset shift that helped you go to that next level?
I don't know if it was one thing in particular. I have to be honest, like I was on a lot of the Zooms, I was on a lot of the work with me's, but I didn't fully do the things. Yes, I did the IPAs. Yes, I did, like my morning things, like I would do like meditate, listen to podcasts and things like that. But my relationship started struggling because I would say I was doing all these things. And in reality, it's like I wasn't doing the things that really mattered. Like, okay, for instance, sometimes I'd be stressed out and I'm like, I'm just going to take a nap or I have a headache instead of doing things to change my circumstances because I'm stressed out because I can't pay my bills. I couldn't afford my stuff. So instead of being like, I have to stop the excuses and get to work, I would just keep making excuses. And it's sad but true. My dad and I were like this, and I lost my dad unexpectedly. And in that moment, I'm going to try not to tear up. In that moment, I was like, I have to give this my everything. Like I just lost the person that was the most special to me that doesn't get to see me succeed with what. And yes, everybody's like, he still sees you, but you know what I mean? Like here, I don't have that anymore because I was so silly to like not do the things that are so easy to do. And that was my main mindset shift is I was just tired of making excuses for myself. I was tired of like taking naps and saying I had headaches when I was very capable of doing what I should have been doing.
I keep forgetting that I have to unmute myself. I have to like go all the way down there and hit the unmute button. Don't mind me. I'm all over the place.
It's okay.
Dang it. Now I forget what I was going to say. Listen, I have squirrel brain.
That's okay.
Shoot. You know what? I'm going to ask you the next question.
That's okay.
I'll remember it in a second. Okay. So, we talked about like the belief that you had in yourself. So you just woke up one day and was like, you know what? There's no more excuses. Like I'm going to do this. I've done this before. I can do this again. Right. And we talked about the belief that you had in yourself and the comparison trap and being stuck in imposter syndrome. I want you to kind of touch on that because that was part of your, like you told me it was like June or something and you were really you told me you had like that mindset shift. So I want you to touch on that.
Yeah. And I think that honestly, we all fall into it one time or another. And maybe I'm wrong, but I really do think so. So I would be in the chats and I see a lot of people talking like gospel and church and stuff. Yes, of course I believe, but I wasn't as heavy as some of the people. So I was like, man, maybe I like don't belong because like that's just not me. Or I would see like certain people post a certain way or be in like chit chat conversations and things like that. And I'm just like, man, or I would see like Britt, for instance, the way she posted, I'm like, that's not me. And then one day I was like, no shit, that's not you. Like, excuse me, but you're not them. I'm me. And like, if people know me, like I talk about how I probably have sweat dripping from my armpits to my belly button right now. Like I'm disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm a single mom of 2 kids. I have a trucker mouth sometimes. I love people with every single ounce of my heart. And like, I am such like one of my downfalls is I'm a people pleaser too, And finally I sat back and I'm like, somebody out there needs me for my story. And I would constantly like look out to like other people, like one time I remember I reached out to Em and I'm like telling her what struggles I'm going through. And she's like, you have to be you. Then I'd reach out to Brittany because I'm thinking like, man, these people are 200Ks. Like there's something that they're doing that works for them or whatever. But yeah, what works for them doesn't work for me. And then one time I did a one-on-one Zoom with Brittany and she was like almost crying and I was crying. And in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, like she's human, just like I am. And I know it sounds crazy, but you have to stop looking at what everybody else is doing. Stop looking at how everybody else is posting because they're not you. The way you post is not the way that they're going to post. I do not like, this is my kid's toy room / office. Like I share a toy room and an office. I don't push stuff out of the way to take perfect pictures because my life is a mess, you know, like that is more relatable than me trying to do these perfect pictures. And there's people like Brittany, for instance, she's been in the industry for a lot longer. So she's had more time to perfect her craft. So why in the hell am I trying to compare myself to her posting? We are not the same. I love her. She's such a beautiful human. Same with Em, but like you cannot compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10. It literally does not make any sense. Because you don't know like the beginning chapters, you don't know what they went through. Even my social media, people are going to go on there and think that like I have this great life. Probably you have no idea the hell that I've been through. And that is why I show up every day, because there's somebody on the other side of that screen that needs what you have to offer. Not the fake Louis Vuitton, not the like pretty car. If you've got a broken down Toyota Corolla, you show that, and you show what this business is going to offer you and those other people. You're still in your chapter 1, 2, or 3, and that's okay. Sorry, I know that was a tangent.
No, that was perfect. Listen, I got to say this real quick before I go somewhere else. First of all, I literally wrote down, as you were saying this, I wrote down, don't compare your chapter 5 to someone's chapter 20. And then you spit it out. Like you said it, I wrote it down. You guys, you have to be who you are. And the perfect example for this, like we went and bought a 2015 truck and we hate it. We hate the truck. So we're driving our 2003 Yukon. It's like we were trying to keep up with the Joneses. We thought we had to have that next best thing. And then now we're just like, oh my gosh, this sucks. Like it doesn't compare. So you have to show up as who you are. Be you. Someone needs you in this business. Like Lindsey said, she's not super, super biblical. And somebody needs that from her. Like, yes, I love our team. I love everything about our community, but it is so easy to get stuck in that comparison trap. For the longest time, I thought I had to go live every single day because Mallory did. And Mallory, I love you so much and your lives are incredible, but like, girl, they don't work for me. So, you have to find what works for you and don't make those excuses because you're the only one that can do this in your business. You're the only one that can say, you know what, it's time. I got to get out of my own head. Like Mallory's Zoom last night, you got to decide when you're going to go all in and be you while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that mindset shift, like how did that impact how you showed up for your business?
I mean, it literally impacted everything because I didn't have confidence around my friends, my family. Anybody close to me will tell you like, Lindsey, you are the most outgoing, like craziest, fun, but like on social media or with the team, I was not. I was like in my shell because I'm like, what if this person doesn't like me? What if this person judges me? What if this person that? And like, you got to stop that because just like biblical or certain things on this team, the beauty of this team is we literally have something and someone for everyone. If I meet somebody and they're like, I'm really into the church, I'm like, girl, we got you here. Like there is something here for everybody. And I think that once I found the confidence, I always had the confidence in the products and the company and the team, but it was myself. And once I found the confidence that like, I just have to be myself. I might get that mean person on my post or my live or my TikTok or whatever that doesn't vibe with me. It doesn't hurt my feelings anymore. Delete them and move on to the next because you don't want them on your team anyways. You don't want to do business with them anyways. So once I realized that like, I not only have confidence in myself, but like I'm doing this to help the other moms I would cry myself to sleep sometimes because I couldn't pay my bills. I would get electric notices. I would get eviction notices. Like I am not kidding you when I tell you that I have been through hell. So when I finally got confidence, I'm like, you know what? F that. Sorry. But like some other mom out there needs what we have here. They really do. And if you just get yourself your products and you feel bomb, like you don't have to pay for another thing. Like once I put the confidence behind all that, like everything changed. It was easy for me to talk to people. I struggled with following up for the longest time because I was scared to follow up. What if they say no? Who cares? What if they say no? Like, on to the next. They're going to continue watching you and they're going to say yes later, you know? And so now I follow up with everybody. Like, I pour my heart into people. I have my little notebook and I write down every single person in there, everybody that's been in my inbox. I write down their why, because I have a genuine conversation. So now I have the confidence to be like, girl, you told me you were struggling with this. How can I help you? Like, let's do this together. And it's not like, oh, spend your money here, join my team, and then you fall off. Like, no, I get to like help people get out of the situations that I've been in. And that was everything to me.
That was the biggest, like when we were talking about it, that was the biggest one, was that following up. That was where your mindset shift impacted your business so much. Because listen, what was it, 15 people from TikTok you enrolled last month?
Something like that. Yeah. 15, 20 people.
And just the way you were talking about how you were following up with people, guys, this is service. We're here to serve people. We're here to serve them a product and a business opportunity that will change their life if they show up and put in the work, right? And so we need to serve them. And something that Lindsey was asking me, she's like, do you know what like who it is you're talking to? She's like, I write their name down. I got all of this information. I know MJ has said this before. She did a whole Zoom over it, but when you hear it from someone else, it's like, guys, it works. What the leaders are giving us, this tips and tricks, these nuggets, they work, but sometimes you have to hear them from somebody else and for it to like click, for it to have that. Yeah. And when Lindsey said it to me, it was like, oh my gosh, like, no, no wonder you get backwards. You start to feel backwards and it's like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I'm not showing up right? And you start to do things like everybody else. But honestly, it's just getting to know your people and being yourself. Mm-hmm. Right. And I loved that, because something you said, it was literally, you said service over sales.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I just want to say one thing, use people to inspire you and don't do exactly what they're doing. Like, back on MJ again, I was in her inbox a few times and I was like, okay, TikTok, like, what are you doing? Because I was inspired by like what she was doing all the time. And I knew her story. And not to be rude, I didn't give a crap about her sales, but every single team training she's doing, she's like pouring into us from the heart, and it seems like she genuinely cares and she's genuinely there for her team and like everything. And I'm like, man, I want that. Like, I want a team that I can help change their life too. Like, whatever she's doing, I got to do that. And she gave me some tips and tricks, and I took that, and I didn't copy her, but I did my own thing because I'm my own person. Like, you just, if there's somebody that you follow that you love the way they do things, just look at what they do, but then put your own spin on it, because you want to attract your people and not their people.
MJ, you must be like our target person tonight.
No, I'm going to tattoo your name on my chat. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I love that. And okay, I love that. So next question. So how did that impact your IPAs and how you run your business?
I think when I really started leading from the heart, because people will tell you till they're blue in the face, stop looking at your tracker, just do the work, go into it to change people's lives. And I did not do that. I was constantly looking at my tracker. I was constantly working in desperation. Yes, my electric notice was coming. I called the electric company, I don't know how many times, and was like, please, like, one more week. I remember a couple months ago, even, I had like 5 hours to get that money into the electric before my power was shut off for me and my kids. So it was very hard for me to like get out of that desperation because I needed money. But when you do this service, you get to work more authentically. The desperation isn't so authentic, and your people can feel that. When you're talking to people that you want them to join the business, they can tell that you just want them to join for you. You know, and so I really, really started writing every single person down. Like, I took my IPAs very serious when I was reaching out to somebody, or even in the morning when we do our work with me's. If I'm going through people's stories, I don't just like send them a heart, like, oh, let me heart this, so that, I mean, every now and then if I talk to them a lot, but I don't want to just send a heart and be like, maybe they'll get on my team one day. Like, no, I have genuine interactions with people. And so when you do your IPAs or you do things actually from the heart, from service mode and not desperation, I promise you, you will not have to look at your tracker. Last month or in June, when I had 15 or 20 promoters come from TikTok alone, that's not including Instagram, that's not including Facebook, that is the only month that I did not look at my tracker. I ran from my heart and I just did it. And that's the month that I hit the VIP 400, the VIP 800, the VIP 1600, and 12K all in 1 month. I sobbed literal tears with my kids because I started practicing what I preach. I got to hang out with my kids. I wasn't on my phone 24/7. I organized my office. Organization is everything. My team, I put their actual dreams like on my board. I write everything down. Like, it's the stuff that's boring that's going to change your business. Like, nobody wants to write everything. Well, actually, I enjoy it now because I'm like, oh man, this girl like wants it. I have somebody wants a new washing machine. I have another girl that wants dental work done. Like, I write everything down, so it makes me happy now. But
yeah, and I love that because I feel like I even felt your shift like in our team chat, like just the questions you were asking and how you were showing up. Like I felt your shift. And then you hit all of these bonuses back to back. And it was just mind blowing to me. And I was like, okay, listen, Lindsey, like we're gonna have to talk. You're gonna have to help a sister out. And it's incredible that you can show up in this business and have a simple mindset shift, showing up out of your heart and out of abundance instead of out of desperation, and how it can literally just change your business in a matter of just a couple of months. And if you guys take anything away from this, it literally should be to make it about them. And I know that you hear that from so many leaders and you're like, well, what do you mean? How do I make it about them? My bills aren't even getting paid, right? I'm not even being able to buy groceries. I don't know how to make it about anybody else. But the more you focus on them and what they need, the more you're going to get what you need.
yeah,
Because you're focusing on them and helping them get to their next levels, your next levels are going to come with that. Okay, so last question. What tips do you have for anyone, no matter how long they've been here, that wants to go to that next level in their business?
I think my number one thing would really just be like, stop excuses and get out of your own head. I was talking to multiple girls on my team last night that they were messaging me till like 11, and believe it or not, okay, I want to do something really quick. I don't know how long everybody has been on here with this team. If you're brand new, I don't even care. But if you are comfortable with it, that was like weird. I had like an accent there. Drop in the chat, what do you struggle with? Business, confident, like what are you currently struggling with? Because I was gonna go live for your first time. Yes. Okay. I was gonna say there's more than that. Like, let's go, people. I know you guys are struggling with something. Okay. I was talking to so many girls yesterday on my team, and believe it or not, everybody is really struggling with the same thing. And you just have to get out of your own head. So going live, why are you worried about that? You're worried that somebody's going to judge you. You're worried that somebody's going to say something mean. Then end up deleting them and they're not your people. I had some of my family that wasn't believing in me. My best friend of 20 years just ordered for the first time 2 weeks ago. Okay. If you look at this chat right now, everybody struggles with the same things. Being consistent with IPAs, just show up on a work with me. You have to realize how important this business is for you and know that it will change your life. People are going live on TikTok. Okay, girl, I'm nervous on that one too, but I did it the other day and I was sweating so bad. See, being consistent, that's like a big thing here. You just have to make the choice, because if you're not consistent, you're making the choice not to. So make the choice to be consistent. Write it in your calendar, set an alarm, do a work with me, do at least one work with me every couple days. I get on them almost every single day. I don't care if they're boring to some people. They will change your life. And I just learned something new, but from Sue, I think this morning on a work with me that I didn't even know. So they're so helpful for your business. And Having conversations. Okay. These are just like the few tips that I wanted to give, because I feel like so many people, like I said, struggle with the same thing, but the conversations, what are you afraid of? They're going to say no. If you have 50 people that say no, what about those 2 moms that don't have a job, that are single moms, maybe living at home, almost losing their house, can't afford groceries? Those 50 no's do not amount to those 2 moms that you get to help change their life. So you have to get out of your own head. Some people are like, I don't like the way that I look on a live. I just told you that I sweat from my armpit to my belly button. Okay. Like, I don't look like how I look on my lives all the time either, but you are your own worst critic. You have to stop judging yourself, because somebody else is watching you and they're going to be like, dang, I want the confidence that girl has. Dang, I want the business that girl has. And in your own head, you're like, I have no confidence. My business isn't really going anywhere. Like, you have to stop being your own worst critic and just run. Like, I promise you, there's so many people out there that, like, your story is going to change their life. Oh, I have a boring story. No, you don't. Stop telling yourself that. No, you don't. You did this business for some reason, whether it's to take your kids to Disney or whether it's to pay your electric bill. Like, your story is everything. So, okay.
Listen, another thing that you could take with that is like, why are you afraid to go live? Like, seriously, ask yourself that. Why are you afraid to go live? Is someone like, do you have someone on your social media that you think is going to shun you? Or do you think they're going to like make fun of you? Because listen, the only people that are making fun of you are the people who are doing worse than you. They're too afraid to go after their dream life. They're too afraid to go after what they want to have in their life. So they have to make fun of what you're doing. They don't understand it.
Yeah.
Are you struggling with conversations? Okay, why? I struggle with conversations. Yeah, I'm just going to pull that out there. But like, I got in my own head. I thought that I had to talk the way everybody else was talking. And that's really what it boiled down to. Like, why are you struggling with being consistent with your IPAs? What are you telling yourself about the IPAs? Make them fun. We're building relationships with people. Yeah, we do it in 5-minute increments, but that's so we can put our damn phone down and move on, right? Like, build that relationship with people, get to know them, make it fun. Like, your reel should be fun. That's part of an IPA, right? Interacting with people should be fun. Growing my network, it's fun for me now. You guys, like, I get so excited to add these new natural, I almost said sociopath, naturalist. Oh my gosh. I get so excited to connect with moms like that. Like, you have to find your connection. And I don't want to say niche because I don't like that. I'm no niche, but you have to find your people. And then it's exciting to do your IPAs. It's fun to do your IPAs. If you hate your own voice, just don't rewatch them.
Yeah, I don't rewatch mine. I told my team that yesterday. They're like, but I rewatch and I did this. I'm like, stop rewatching, because you're going to pick out your own thing. Like, you just can't. And the other thing that I was telling them yesterday is like, confidence you don't just wake up and you're like, oh shit, I'm so confident today. Like, yes, maybe, but like, it takes time. So, I was telling my team that you have confidence under there and it's like stone that's built up. You do one live, you chisel a little bit off. You do one thing of IPAs, you chisel it off, you have conversations, and like, through the days, you're going to chisel down to the core and your confidence is going to come through, but it's not going to get there if you don't just start doing the hard things. Conversations, like I said, I followed up for the first time like a month or 2 ago. I never followed up before because they stressed me out. And finally, when I started writing people's purpose down and their why, that I would voice message and I'm like, girl, you told me this, that, and the other. And I had so many people that they're like, I'm not going to lie, I've wanted to join network marketing, but nobody treated me like a human before. They treated me like I was a sale. So like, that right there gave me more confidence, because I was like, oh shit, somebody needs you to pour into them. You know what I mean?
Yes, the confidence doesn't come. Like you don't wake up and you're confident. You have to do the things to become confident. You have to go live consistently to become confident. Like if you want to get as confident as Mallory and Shelby when they're on their live videos, like you got to do the dang live videos all the time. You got to do them all the time. And missing bonuses, I seen that on there too. There are so many bonuses, so many. They happen all the time. And so the way that I look at bonuses is like there's something better for you.
Yeah.
If you didn't hit that bonus, there's something better for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, just like piggybacking off of that really quick, I, hit all those bonuses in 1 month, and this Go bonus came and I missed it by $100. And I was so upset. And I was only upset for like 20 minutes because then I backed off and I'm like, you know what? Like there is so much more than that freaking bonus. $100. Yeah, it sucked that I missed it by $100, but like my team and the women that I get to help and the newbies that join my team, like that is so much more to me than a damn Go bonus, So you have to look at the bigger picture. And yes, I could have used it, right? Like I'm a single mom. I don't even get child support. I do it on my own, but it's okay.
I have missed every single bonus that they've brought out. Every single one. Well, I hit the rank advancement bonus, but I've missed all of the other ones. And like, it doesn't matter. Yes, the bonuses are nice and they help tremendously. If you watched Mallory's video last night, you'll hear how much they helped, but they're not the end all be all. Like this business is a bonus and there's going to be another bonus come out and you're going to earn that bonus. And I like Mallory, you cried going live your first time. Okay. Listen, you guys, basically what you got to take away from this is you got to get out of your own head. You have to show up for yourself. You have to show up for yourself. Like you are the only one that is going to make it happen. You can't keep sitting on the sidelines and scrolling on your phone, saying you're doing your IPAs and not actually doing them. You have to follow up with people. You have to interact with people. You have to talk to people, build that conversation and build your confidence bucket up. And that's how you're going to get there. That's how you get to that next level. Like Lindsey got out of her own dang way. And that is what did it for her. She went all in and she made it happen. And that's all I don't want to say that's all you have to do because you do have to show up and you do have to work on yourself and build your confidence and build your conversations and stuff, but just get out of your own dang way. Yeah. I think that's pretty much what Mallory's Zoom was about last night, getting out of your own way.
Yeah. And stop comparing yourself to somebody else. I promise you could have seen that I hit all those bonuses, but you do not know what goes on behind the scenes of people's houses. Like you do not know months ago, I had an eviction notice and I was still posting about my business. Like you do not know that person that you're idolizing and you're like, man, their business is so great. Their business might be great, but you have no idea what they're going through behind the scenes. The only difference is they're consistent and showing up and you're staring at them and not showing up. So you just got to make it happen.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your night to be on here with us. I hope that one of you, or I hope that someone got something from this, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.
Yes.